Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting. Welcome to another Patreon Appreciation Live show. So today there's not going to be any gold panning, no fun Paydirt other than the ones that I'm giving away today. So today is just to thank all my Patreon members who support my channel and allow me to actually make videos about panning and finding the best ROIs and things like that. And doing my daily ROI charts Monday through Friday on Patreon. So thank you all very much. Let me turn off heater. There we go. Sorry about that. Let's see. All right, let's catch up on chat, see who's here so far. I know it's kind of early and these Patreon shows don't get as many viewers. Wheeze and Geezer, thank you for being here 52 minutes early. John Gear, how's it going? CSM, how's it going? I didn't find any gold today. Imagination Deformed, Stephen LeBlanc, Sean McClelland, Michael Reed, how's it going? PA Patriot, what's up, brother? Grateful American, Ayad, how's it going? KC String, Ortiz, how's it going? John Myers, Those Left Behind. Who else we got in here? Richard, how's it going, Richard? I had to stop messaging you so I could set up for my live show. So if you message me, Richard, I haven't seen it yet. Shane Prothero, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. And Michael, how's it going? How are you and the missus doing out there in California? I don't know. I think I talked to. Hopefully you're getting enough money for the Alaskan cruise. So got my new coffee mug. I'm so excited about that. Cockatoo, Birdman, Bill, the real Mr. Hogan. I still have to reply to your email, Hogan. I will get to that maybe later tonight, if not tomorrow morning. John Myers, how's it going? Kristen. James, how's it going? New to the page? Well, thank you. I appreciate you being here. I am Zaxxon. How's it going? Ollie Skeeter. So, all right, now I can pop out chat. I think I said hi to everybody. If I missed you, I apologize, but I'm sure I will see you at some point in tonight's show and say hi. All right, there we go. So, Alaska, here we go. There you go. One of my buddies just went on the trip. So I'm sorry. I was looking. Seems like Yukon Alley will not be selling Paydirt this year. So I'm gonna have to. I need to message her tonight. Get confirmation. But which will suck. But all right. Chat is out. Am I frozen? Or is this just YouTube again? All right, yeah. If you do something, sometimes if you're doing something on OBS, it'll freeze on the YouTube player, so you can't tell if you're frozen or not. But I am not frozen. That's why I just need to go to OBS. I stopped seeing YouTube's platform. It doesn't work very well, so. What's here? Charles King, how's it going? No, it doesn't always show you, John. Sometimes it shows me and sometimes it doesn't if somebody changes. Like it'll show you as a new member. And sometimes I did get 2 this month where they were old members that showed it redoing it. But I don't know if it was you or not. I'll have to double check. Patreon is pretty bad with their emails. I will get like a notice and I'll say like, oh, you've got a new member so-and-so. And I'm like, okay, let me log in to tell them hi and all that. And it'll show that they joined like 3 days earlier. It's like, it's just making me look like I'm slow, which I am, but you know. Beermans, how's it going, brother? But yeah, but it does that. It's so weird that they do that. There's a whole bunch of weird things that Patreon does that is just mind-blowingly idiotic to say. I don't want to say anything like, it just doesn't make common sense, some of the things they do. Whiskey Lover, how's it going? Zach, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Carl Madley, Jason G, thank you for joining here. Andy Casey, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Appreciate everyone's here. So what's one of the things that Patreon... So one of the things that Patreon does that really drives me crazy, and they still haven't fixed it, and it's been broken since I joined Patreon, 6 years ago? Probably 5 or 6 years ago. I think I message them at least once a year about it. Is one of the things they'll do is that they have is so you can limit the number of members you have in your Patreon. So like for me, for my $5 members, I think I have like 50 or 60 as a limit. And so you think you would have 60 members, and then that's it. And you couldn't get more than that. But if somebody's credit card gets declined or they change their card, Patreon counts them as a member even though they're no longer a member. So if somebody, unless somebody like clicks the I want to quit button and fills out a little form, they are always considered a member of that tier, even if they're not paying anymore. And it drives me crazy because I will log in and it'll say like if I look at my main page, it'll say like, oh, you have 59 $5 members. And I'm like, well, I just did the math and I only have 34, I only have 34 paying members. And the only way to get rid of them or to, remove them from the statistics is to block them and then unblock them in case they ever want to join. But the problem is as soon as you block them, Patreon sends a message to them saying, hey, by the way, Miller Prospecting just blocked you, so you can't join Patreon. And then when I unblock them, it doesn't send them an email telling them I unblocked them. And I've done it before. Like I will post on Patreon, hey, I'm unblocking people. It's not about you. I'll send messages. I'm not blocking. But all they see is the one from Patreon that says you've been blocked. And then I'll get, mean-spirited emails sometimes like, dude, I supported you for years. Why are you blocking me? This and it's like, no, dude, you were just on the roll and I had to get you out so I could get a new member in, Alpine Prospecting, how's it going? Mega Dog. 2.83. Yeah, and that's all that Mexican gold too. See, the good thing about the gold putts, those big bags, is that's all the Mexican gold from Dave. And Dave's out of that. I mean, he might have a little bit stored away, but he's not selling it. So, those are some good bags. I like those bags. I wanted to get one. I just don't have the money right now. So if I scrounge up the money before he sells out, I'll probably grab one. Hey, Liz. How are you tonight? Met a diver the other day. He's on Bering Sea. Well, that's awesome. I know a couple of the divers from the show sell Paydirt. They usually sell it on Facebook, though. David Hamilton, how's it going? Thanks for joining the show. Have you ever been on one of the live shows before, David? Or it's been a while, if you have. Do we get a free taco with Mexican gold? I think Mexican gold is enough. I don't think you need the taco for that. Mentally Corrupted, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. And thank you to all my mods that are here tonight. Mark Sheldon, thank you for being here and being a mod. I appreciate it. I am going to, since this is no panning night, I'm just going to post the hidden link. And then once Nightbot decides to work, we will just pin it. So tonight, the hidden comment is just pinned. Make sure you go to the top of chat, leave a comment in the pinned message, and get a chance to spin the wheel tonight, even if you're not a Patreon member, or if your guessing is pretty bad. This is like so with the gold guessing contest, that's what we're gonna be doing tonight. We're gonna be telling you who the winners are, and sadly who the losers are. But we'll be telling you who the winners are, and then there is the consolation prize. So if you guessed really bad and didn't come in first place, second or third place, or whatever place I have for the prizes in your tier, and then you don't win in the consolation prize, you still get a chance just for being here in the live chat. There's not as many prizes in the live chat one, but there still are some prizes. You can still win some Paydirt, still win some gold or silver or random stuff. So Mentally Corrupted, awesome. I like getting emails. Might take me a day or two to reply, but in my brain, I tell you, when I read emails, I reply to them instantly. But then, I get busy and forget to actually type in words and hit the send button. So who is a hookup on some Coin bar, mold blanks, looking to see some custom stuff. Not me. I don't know anyone that does custom molds. So, I mean, I'm sure there's somebody in the community that does. Yeah, silver took a hit this week. Gold took a hit. I mean, they were both. The problem with both of them were they were just, going up too high too fast, and they got too close to the sun and burned up a little bit. What was it, Icarus and whatever the other one were? Icarus and his son. They just got a little bit too close to the sun. They had to get knocked down a little bit, and they're working their way back up. So, yeah, I think gold's going to stick around 5K for a while. I think this might unfortunately be the new norm for gold, where it's going to go past 5,000, hit 5,500, hit 5,600, and then drop back down to $5,000. And I think silver might be playing this same thing too. It's almost as if the market was being manipulated, let's just say that, where I think silver's natural play should be about $75, $80, somewhere in that range. And I think it's going to keep going up to like 100, 120 and then drop down, then go up to 100, 120 and drop back down. So, but same thing with gold. It's just, with the amount of the drop for gold, the way gold dropped from 5,600, it hit 5,590 something, and then it dropped all the way down to 4,800. It had an $800 drop within hours. The only way for that to happen, there would have had to been so much gold sold, or the dollar would have had to collapse or go skyrocketing. There had to be something major for something. Absolutely nothing. I mean, I was talking to somebody about it the other day. You can Google, China buying gold, and you can find it. They're not putting it in the national news because, people don't like to read stuff like that. But all you see is China's buying gold, Germany's buying gold, things like that. Every country is buying and buying and buying. India's still buying gold. India's actually even started buying more gold than they typically do. And India is probably the biggest country that hoards gold, mostly in jewelry. But everybody's still buying gold. Refineries have shut down. A lot of the big refineries Thursday and Friday stopped buying gold. So that means there's backlogs of gold. People weren't selling massive amounts of gold because the refineries had stopped buying. So there was really no reason for gold to have dropped that way unless, it's all future calls and, puts and, shortings and things like that. That's the only way gold could have dropped that much and silver dropped that much. And it's just coincidentally that they both do it at the exact same time. So Midwest Deform, how's it going? Thank you for joining. Midwest Gold Fever, thank you for joining the show. Brian, how's it going, Nicklin? I think last week, I think you won a copper round. I still have to send that to you, because I kept forgetting to come in my studio and get one. I'm going to have to start keeping some of these prizes upstairs so I can pull them out. You mean the market isn't being controlled by the powers? Yeah. JP Morgan had a short position on the day of the silver crash. Yeah. I was accident. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, it's one of those things, like, I will tell you, I'm not a huge fan, and I've been saying it always, I'm not a huge fan at the rate gold was going up. I don't mind things going up. There's inflation. Food prices go up, everything, rent goes up, car payments go up, everything goes up. It's just gold was going up at way too high of an incline. And a lot of that had to do with, I think a lot of the countries are, a lot of fiat countries know that they're going to have to go back to the dollar. I mean, back to the gold standard pretty soon. Otherwise, they're going to, be printing up $1 million notes for a dollar bill. Instead of a dollar bill, we'll have $1 million note. So, and I also think a lot of countries realize that, it used to be countries used to secretly, and, politicians used to secretly manipulate the stock market to make money and do stuff. And they kind of did, everybody's heard the joke about, Pelosi, is probably the smartest stock trader in the world, and the amount of money she's made on stocks. And it's all everyone in Congress does it, and everyone makes money. She's just the smartest one out of all of them, But I think, they always did it in hiding. They didn't do it. But now I think countries realize they can't really do it too much, and they realize that they can do it with gold. If you announce, I'm buying 400 tons of gold, the price goes up. price goes up, and it goes up right after you bought it. Now, if you bought $1 million worth of gold, now it's worth $1.1 million, and you keep doing that. So, but like I said, I'm not a big hoarder. I'm not a huge stacker or anything like that. So if it goes up and down, it doesn't really affect me too much. I will say, when gold hit 5,200, or right when gold hit 5,200, I started looking around for a gold nugget because I needed to buy a gold nugget for next month's Patreon guessing. March's Patreon. So I was looking around, and then it hit 5,600, and none of the nugget sites had raised their prices. So I was like, oh man, I'm getting a good deal. So I bought a nugget, and then the price dropped down to 4,600. And I said, well, that wasn't such a good deal after all, was it? I was like, I just got shafted. I should have waited another day. Luckily though, gold is back up, and it'll be like 5,200. So it'll, we'll see. Yeah, Midwest. It's not. I mean, it's, like I said, I posted on my daily ROI chart today. I don't mind if gold goes up or down. I just want it to be at a normal pace. If gold spot goes up from $5,000 to 5,050 in a day, you're like, okay, $50, it's kind of high, but I can deal with it. And if the next day it drops 40, you're like, okay. But, $900 swings is just absolutely crazy. And then to go back up. Now, like if gold would have just dropped, to 4,600 and then started doing the $10 up, $10 down, $10 up, you could say, okay, it was just so overly priced. That's why it dropped, because it was so overly priced that it had to drop. It was just, it was just being inflated by, people buying, but it wasn't the real number. But the fact that it went right back up to, probably next week it'll be at 5,200 again, makes you think, well, that really is no reason for it to do it. So, yeah, I mean, so the problem with every fiat country was when they first did it was when gold was pretty low. Gold wasn't really worth much when countries got off the gold standard. And, it was a new thing. It's kind of like when you're, countries going onto the fiat where they just started printing money and going into debt is the same as a college student who gets that first college credit card. Like where, you're in college and you see Citibank and Capital One all with their tables lined up saying, oh, do you want your first credit card? And they give you your first credit card and you think, wow, this is great. I can go out to eat. I can do all this. I can go buy this. I can buy those video games. I can buy my new PlayStation I wanted, and I don't have to pay for it. And then you're, 4 or 5 years later, you're filing bankruptcy because you got $30,000 in credit card debt. They're all pounding on your door because you don't make enough to even pay the minimum on all of them. It's the same thing. It was a brand new toy that every country realized, hey, we can just print money, make bonds saying this is what we're loaning and borrowing. And eventually it just got so high that now some countries have started going bankrupt, countries that have to print those $1 million dollar bills. So they need to go back to the gold standard and just, it's just, it's the same thing as when you go to bankruptcy court, the first thing they ask you in bankruptcy court is, how are you going to change? How are you going to change your standard of living? If you were previously spending $100,000 a year, but you only made 60 and you're putting 40 on credit cards, the judge isn't going to declare you bankrupt and wipe off your debt if you're still going to spend $100,000 next year. They make you reformulate and say, hey, look, I learned from my lesson. I will start living off the $50,000 I make. I don't need a credit card. It's the same thing. Every country just needs to go back to the gold standard and say, hey, we don't need to spend $40 trillion on, toilet bowls for the government. We don't need to spend $400 trillion on, the military. We can cut back to $320 trillion. There's just, things like that. They just need to cut spending a little bit and, do the right thing. We'll just have to see. I don't think that's going to happen. I think one day we're going to have $1 million note, but, probably not in my time. So, I'll be long gone. But, Alpine, yeah, the new one, Washington's rough. That's 10% top of all that. Not on Paydirt yet. Ugh. Oh, tiny cats. Yeah. Yeah, I saw most states, unfortunately, now are starting to tax bullion. And that's really sad that they're starting to, the government's trying to make their money from you. They're starting to tax bullion. You know, I think most states now, like Indiana, taxes bullion now. It's just crazy. There's so many things we need to stop funding. It's just I saw, I don't know who it was, and I'm not going to say he was a good politician or a bad politician. I did see a politician posted once where if the federal government couldn't, so since Congress has to approve everything, like Congress approves their budget, it says this is how much we're going to spend, this is our budget, you know. I saw a thing where he said, hey, if they don't balance the books, so at the end of the year, you aren't in the black, where, you say, okay, we're going to bring in $700 trillion. We can only spend $500 trillion because we need to pay $200 trillion towards our debt. If they can't come up with a budget that fits in $500 trillion, none of them get paid for the year. That's it. Tell Congress you get paid nothing for the year if you don't come up with a budget. It would pass the first time. That's it. I mean, because they all want their paychecks. They want to be able to manipulate stocks. And, all you have to do is tell them you're not going to get paid. You will be a 1-year term, and we will hold a special election to replace you next year. That's it. You tell someone and say, if you can't balance the budget, then we will replace you and bring in somebody new. You bring in all those congressmen, a lot of them will start saying, well, that budget there, that's only $400 trillion. I like that. I'll vote for that one. It's the quickest way is you make people accountable. You make them lose their job. Because unfortunately, like right now, if you get in Congress, you've got 8 years. You've got 8 years to putter around and essentially do nothing. I mean, I don't remember what her name was or something. What was the lady that just passed away? What was it, last year or something? She hadn't actually been in Congress in like 6 years because she was so old. She was just having her assistants, and should have been in a mental home. She was senile. Whereas far as it $1 million? Yeah, 6 years, yeah. So, but I mean, it's just, you just got to hold them accountable. Tell them if you don't do this, then, you lose this. If they lose their paycheck or they lose their, lifetime, you just do a whole bunch of things. You tell them, look, if you don't pass the budget, then we hold a special election and we replace you. And then you won't get your lifetime paycheck and your lifetime insurance. Yeah, 8 years only a millionaire. Yep. No. Thank you, David. Yeah. Dirty Nugget Prospecting, how are you tonight? So, yeah. I don't know if I want to be Presidente anymore. I don't know. My hair is already gray enough. I mean, I remember I was looking at some pictures of some of my old videos, and all my hair was brown. I don't have much hair. I don't have any on my head, but all my hair was brown, and now it's almost all blonde. So, hold on. Let me get a text. Annie Stevens, how are you? The show is this weekend? Is the show this weekend, Annie? I know I still have to reply to your Facebook on Messenger. In the future, always email me. I'm slow on email, but I don't use Facebook. Facebook Annie. Yeah, I'll figure out something I can send you, Annie, for prizes or a prize. All right, PA, that works for me. Uh, how about co-presidents? Why don't we start something new? Have two presidents. Bear Prospecting, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Curry, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Oh, it's March 7th and 8th. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. I told somebody, I was talking to Annie, I was talking to Brad about it the other day. And I said, oh, are you going this weekend? He's like, no, it's in March. And I said, I know, it's just in my brain. And now, because it's February, I'm thinking again the 7th and 8th. Ugh. Did my package get frozen in your mailbox? No, it should be out here. Oh, well, send me a message on Patreon, and I'll send you the tracking number. I thought I sent you the tracking number, but maybe I didn't. If I didn't send you the tracking number, I have the tracking number. I haven't looked to see if it's moved or not. So, but it is out. I sent it out Wednesday or Thursday. But I can tell you, my postal, they're not doing anything. My local post office is absolutely doing nothing. It was so weird. So like yesterday, I got a package in yesterday, and then I was waiting on 3 other packages, and I get a notice right after that my address is undeliverable to because of snow. But they could bring one package, just not the other 3. Because my street is still snowed in. So it just depends on if they want to walk the block to bring me stuff or not. So, and I went to the post office when I went. I guess it was Thursday morning when I went to go drop off, Wednesday or Thursday. They had so many people there trying to get their mail, and they were just backed up. So. I appreciate that, Annie. So, but all right. So today, again, don't forget pinned message from Nightbot at the very top of chat. Make sure you go and leave a comment on the hidden video so you can get a spin on the Wheel of Treasures tonight. And I have a very updated Wheel of Treasures. Now, I was thinking about it today. When I do my videos with the gold guessing, I'm telling you the prizes on the wheel, but unfortunately that wheel changes every single week because I give stuff away and I do stuff. So I'm gonna have to figure out a different way to talk about the Wheel of Treasures when I do the gold guessing. Maybe I'll just say it has gold prizes, silver prizes, or something like that, because the wheel from January has changed. Some of the stuff I've given away and I don't have anymore, but we're gonna do the gold guessing contest. We're gonna go through that right now. Only 150 days. There you go. I didn't know that. I know you need to get some more gold, Bear. Missing my bear prospecting. I do have my bear prospecting on the shelf. The last time you had the 1 grammers, I had to make sure I grabbed one to put on my shelf. I'm trying to put all my top 10 sellers on this row shelves. But I'm getting ready to redo my top 10 because there's some sellers that I'm going to be taking off my top 10 and probably some new ones I'm going to put on. We'll have to see. I might even make it a smaller. It might not be a top 10 anymore. It might be a top 5 or something like that. So. I had to do it. It is. People think it's easy to make a video, but it's really not. You'll get something like, a fat cat over here that'll just keep meowing when you're doing stuff. I can't tell you the number of times I'll be in the middle of something, a nice 10-minute spiel on a video or something, and all of a sudden someone will come banging on my door or something, and it's like, now I got to stop because you can hear it on here, and I've got to go figure out who's knocking on my door. Then I'll have to reshoot the whole 10 minutes. There's all kinds of things. Wait until you see the new 250-year dimes. Is there going to be a 250-year dime? Oh, I'm going to have to snag that. It's the one thing I will tell you. It is the one thing that I regret more than anything else with gold and buying stuff is when it was 2016, when the 2016 gold dime came out. I wanted to buy one. I was like, I don't have the money right now. I'll buy one in a couple of years. And that was the one thing I wanted to buy for my kids to have in their little treasure boxes because I love dimes. They're my favorite thing. And now they're just so expensive. I can't, I'm never going to be able to afford them because, I got 4 kids. You got to put stuff in all their little treasure boxes and, I can't afford 4 of those gold dimes now. So, it drives me crazy. It's my one big regret was that when they first came, not when they first came out, because that's when they were kind of high priced because, I was trying to grab them. But once they started hitting the market and being on eBay and everything else, I should have grabbed some, What's the pink material here? Let me look it up. I saw somebody in the, one of the, that did a video on one of them talking about the red material. Let me look it up. I forget what it is. It is a natural sand. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I tried to make it one. I just wanted to mostly be black sands, just to make it really hard because Krampus is naughty. But then I was like, well, I'll add something red to it just for the Christmassy stuff. So I remember I looked around for a long time to find something that I liked. Let me see. When was that? That was December's, right? Yeah. So let me see what my buying was. And all right, I found the Krampus labels. That should have been somewhere around here. And there were supposed to be garnets in there too, but I couldn't find the garnets. Yeah, it's called Iwagumi sand. It's essentially garnets. It's just essentially crushed garnet sands. So I got it off of Amazon. It's like an aquarium gravel. So, but it's garnet sands that have been crushed. No. So it's kind of supposed to be a purple and red. And Alan, thank you very much, brother. Way too kind. And I did get your package in, so I'll be sending you a message on Patreon about your package. But I did get that in. Vendetta, thank you very much, brother. You're texting me while I'm trying to do my show, brother. Flower Gold Wizard, what's up, brother? Everyone just coming in at once while I'm talking and I can't see chat. Thank you all very much. Yeah, it's crushed garnet. It's just garnet sands. I still will tell you that I think the best material ever for panning is Gnome Beach Sands. It's my absolute favorite material. I wish there was a way I could just like get boxes and boxes of it still. That's all I would use for my Paydirt. So I had one person send me 2 large Priority Mail boxes and I used it for years in my Paydirt. Like if you have one of the cans, one of my canned Paydyrts, one of my original canned Paydyrts, that's what was in it. And that stuff was just absolutely awesome. Because it's just garnet sands, but it's natural garnet sands just from the beaches. So, Joey Brown, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. And of course, Jason, thank you for being here, brother. I still haven't watched your Invisible Boots video yet. It's on my computer upstairs. It's all right. It's all right, Vendetta. I figured, I was like, I get people, it doesn't matter. More people text me during my live shows at any other point in the day. So, Lucky Strike, Paydirt, how is it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Golden Aquarium Sand. Where did I see that? Clash did it. Clash did it. They still do. I have bought a bag of it. So after that video came out, I put it in my cart on Amazon, but I didn't have money to buy it at the time, so I kind of just forgot about it, and I put it in the like save for later. And then a couple months later, I bought a bag and panned it out one day when I was bored, and it had 2 pieces of gold, I think, in the whole bag. So, had some garnet sand sourced from Australia, very heavy. Yeah. So, like I said, I think Nome has the best beach sands, but you have to go in a good spot. Unfortunately, with any beach, if you go to the wrong spot, you're just getting cigarette butts and pull tops and stuff like that. You got to go to the untouched parts. So, but all right, let's go back to, okay, we're going to do the giveaway again. This is for everyone that is a Patreon member in January. Now, I'll tell you the prizes and what they are before we show off and everything. So for my $25 tier, $79 tier, there was 3 prizes. First place is a 1.8 gram bag of Paydirt from Miller Prospecting. It is my Tuesday tailings. And then I had a second place and third place, and that'll be a spin on the Wheel of Treasures. I'll show you the Wheel of Treasures later on. We got a whole bunch of good prizes on there, some really upgraded prizes as well. For my $10 tier, have 2 prizes. First place, 0.8 gram bag of Paydirt. It's almost a gram, 0.8 plus second place will get a spin on the Wheel of Treasures. $5 tier, just 1 prize, a 0.4 gram bag of Miller Prospecting Paydirt. And then everybody, every single Patreon member gets a spin on the Wheel of Treasures, or they get their names in a wheel. I pull their name, and one person will also get a spin on the Wheel of Treasures. And then everyone in chat today gets a spin on the Wheel of Treasures. So lots of stuff to spin. Oh, that's awesome, Steven. Yeah, so the beach in Gnomes, the spot where my buddy used to work, it's only black sands and garnet sands. So it was really, really heavy material. And then, if you looked at it really closely, garnet sands are some of the coolest sands just because the light goes through them. And I love garnets and gold is still my favorite. It's probably one of my favorite bags that I ever made was a garnet and gold one. I know Mike from Golden Nugget Sales used to have a garnet and gold bag. It wasn't as good as mine, but it was a good one. I always like that. I think garnets and gold go together so great. Mr. Vendetta enjoying the silver show. Yeah, Vendetta is the man. For some silver. I know, Mike, I might have to, next time I'm sending you a package, I'll have to see if I remember. I have a whole bunch of 925 silver I might have to send you. So, because I was buying lots of silver a while back on auction sites, and I got some in. I was like, well, what am I going to do with these now? No, I need to do something with them, so. Mr. Meanleaf, thank you very much for joining the show. I appreciate it. So, all right, let's go. We're going to show off the gold wing. Let's show you everything. Well, before we do the gold wing, let's go through everybody's names. So we're going to do the names, everyone's guesses. Let me see. I have the right one up. Yeah. All right, so let's go. These are everyone's guesses that guessed in the month of January. And just in case you don't know, the new gold guessing for February is up on Patreon. Make sure you go guess. Have some prizes as well. You want to win. I want y'all to win these prizes. The more people that enter, the better. Somebody can win stuff. So for last month in January, for my $25.79 tier, these are their guesses. We have Alan Curie at 2.47, Brian McQuinn 2.95, Casey Sring 2.57, James Culver, 2.85. Whiskey Lover, 2.67. Richard Davis, 3.07. James Stouty, 1.78. Mark Sheldon, 3.02. Jacob E23, 3.12. HD Chevrolet, 2.65. Josh Ortiz, 2.36. Scott LeMay, 3.87. Dave Those Left Behind, 3.23. Jake Niup, 3.48. David Stocks, 2.41. Keith and Wynn, 2.3. PA Patriot, 4.16. Mike Reed, 2.69. Teo, 3.79. Wiesengeezer TV, 2.91. Josh Wiersema, 4.5. And Scott Chavaria, 3.24. So those were all the guesses by my $25.79 tier members. Now we will do the $10 sheet. See who guessed on this one. So, and this is also a little way for me to give shout outs to all my Patreon members who guess. So if you want to get your name shouted out in a video every live show, guess. Sean McClellan, 2.22. Randy Klatt, 3.26. Brian Carson, 2.42. Stephen LeBlanc, 2.48. Knights 880, 2.17. Reg Lab, 2.35. David Edgar, 4.12. 308 Prospecting, 2.76. Package Total, 3.18. Dorothy Richardson, 5.27. John Hogan, 3.28. Wesley Hatfull, 3.62. Jason Gastoni, 2.68. And William Pulley, 3.55. All right, we're going to change it, but let me catch up on chat, make sure people aren't screaming at me about something. HD, what's up, brother? Have 5 pounds to test out from Vendetta. I have a 5-pounder somewhere. Oh, yeah, I have a 5-pounder from Vendetta right here. That's coming up in a show, I think, in March or April. So, trying not to hold Paydirt on my shelf for too long for my Tuesdays. I have a bad habit of waiting over a year sometimes to do Paydirts that have been sitting on my shelf. It gives me great ROIs, but I need to start going through them faster. So, all right, now what are we doing? We're doing the $5 tier members now. Where are y'all at? There we go. $5 tier members. They're always the busiest ones guessing. Bush Wookie 6.7, Daniel Lewis 2.86, John Gear 3.15, Morgan Brown 2.47, David Danduran 4.6, Chris W 2.63, Mega Silver Stacker 6.87, John Miller. That's such a sweet last name, isn't it? Miller just rolls off your tongue. Wow. John Miller 3.25, John Toms 8.77, John Myers 4.11, Kyle Gibson 3.72, Zach Ashford 4.23, Midwest Gold Fever 3.26, Justin Curtis 3.7, Clarence Bierman 4.37, Josh Kaufman 5.56, Corporal Yeager 4.75. I could tell you some stories about Yeager. Ugh, that stuff used to tear me up. Outfitter 6.43, Blake Tolson 6.9. I don't think that's what the Yeager is on there for, but Morgan Brown. Oh, well, this Morgan Brown vote does not count. 4.5. So, Jesse Eads, I did not notice that. Don't guess twice. Jesse Eads 5.37, Matt Philly 6.79. Kristen Reed 4.62, Jeffrey Button 6.06, Julie Hansen. Julie is awesome person, absolutely awesome person. 3.34, Refotris 3.21, Jeff Boge 2.99, and Eric H 3.05. All right, we'll do the free members because again, you can guess on these gold contests and you don't have to be a paid member. I appreciate it if you're a paid member because then that means I can do more videos and stuff and I can afford to do more videos. And I don't have to go get a part-time job at McDonald's. So I appreciate everyone who's a paid member. But if you can't, and I totally understand that, join as a free member. Gold guess, maybe win a prize. You know. We have Steven Stark 4.56, Jake Harrison from Deadliest Catch maybe 3.86, Curtis Gissinger 4.26. Casey Slackow, 3.26. Dina Littlehale, 2.8. Jeff O'Reilly, 3.6. Sean Adams, 4.2. Ollie Skeeter, 3.91. John Ehrman, 3.14. Richard Comerford, 2.84. Zoltan, 2.99. John R. Prospecting, 2.25. Jeff Bakey, 7.28. And Crow at 5.23. So, all right, those are the sheets. Those are all the guesses. Now let me catch up on chat really quickly. Buffalo Trace Cobbles. I have no idea what that is. Oh, making coins. Hey, Fickle Prick. How's it going, brother? How you been doing? I need to move it again. I moved it. So last time you were on here and you pointed out, PA, where your Paydirt was, I moved it because you couldn't really see it because I think it was down here before. It was right here. This is where it was. And you couldn't really see it. So I need to move it again. Either that or you need to make a bigger bag of Paydirt, brother. Because see, I kind of arranged them so bigger to smaller, and yours is small. So now if PA, if you were to make like a bottle or something of Paydirt, you know, it could go up here on the top. The cool bottled stuff. Just saying. Thank you very much, The Real Hogan. Brian DeGlint, thank you very much. I appreciate both of y'all. So, but you can't see it, right, PA? Yeah, my fat head's not covering it up, so yeah. What is the story? My name is not on the list. Did you guess? Cockatoo? Hey, let me go double check. Yeah. Let me see. Let me log up in my Patreon. Oh, Apple. I don't care what Apple's doing. All right. Give me a minute. Bill. Let me see. All right. So let's go to the library. $25 tier. Gold guessing, January. There we go. Let's view the post. I apologize if I missed you. It does happen sometimes. Let me see. Alan, Brian, Casey, Jane, Whiskey, Richard. I don't see your guess on here, brother. No guess. If you can show me your guess, tell me where your guess is. I will add it if I'm wrong, but. Oh, that's awesome. Happy birthday. Tell her I said happy birthday. What's her name? I'll give her a shout out. Crash, but thank you very much. You can see it? All right. Because you can never tell, like when I'm doing, like when I set up all the stuff behind me, I'm sitting here looking at it like this because I'm looking at my monitor trying to see. And, you know, I know my head tends to move around and stuff like that. So. Yeah, I mean, I never want anybody, and I've had it before where I've forgotten people and I've sent them prizes and, you know, to make sure that they felt, you know, they were still loved and not, I didn't mean to miss them. So. Oh my gosh. Okay, I will check you too, Shane. But I go through these lists twice, but let me see. Let's go the library. We'll do the free tier. Now remember, this is the January. All right, this is January's gold guessing, not February's, not December's. Shane Berthero, you are on there. Why did I not guess you? Oh, I did miss you. Let's see, Shane. Let's see. I'm trying to cheat Shane. What's wrong with me? John R., then Zoltan. So you were in between John R. and Zoltan. All right, we can do that. Shane Berthero, we got you on there, brother. I put you in the wrong spot, but it's okay. You know where you're at. What'd you guess? 3.07. There you go. You're on there, Shane. Bill, you're not on there. Oh, yeah. Y'all are on either side of me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bill. That's why I sent out the reminders. I need to figure out a better way to try to get as many people to. And if anyone has any ideas, feel free to send me a message on Patreon. How to get guesses in better and more people to guess. You know, I mean, I know it's kind of one of those things where, you know, if you're guessing, you don't want a lot of people guessing because it lowers the odds. But I mean, there's some members that guess every single month. They enjoy guessing. There's some people that don't want to guess. They aren't interested in guessing, and I understand the reasons for that. But I know there's some members who want to guess every single month, but then they forget something happens. They're, you know, so I might go back to, maybe I'll have to do the sticky again. Because I did the sticky and it didn't seem to really help any, but maybe I'll have to do the sticky so it just always stays in the front of Patreon. And maybe I'll just have to start doing more reminders, so. Yeah, so yours is Not so next Tuesday, I'm panning out a secret Paydirt. But then the following Tuesday, I have you marked down for that one, Shane. So whatever date that is, let's see. The 17th. So I have you for the 17th, because then on the 24th, we're going to be panning out some flower. Are we doing Flower Gold Wizards? I think we're doing the Flower Gold Wizards bag on the 24th. So yeah, the 17th, John R. Prospecting. We're panning out wherever your bag is. This one right here. You might not be able to see it because of live chat, but there's a bag right there of John R. We're doing that one. So Kim Smith, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show from snowy North Carolina. Be nice, everybody. Be nice. So, all right. We showed you all the guesses. We went through all the guesses. Everyone is now on the guess. Let us. What do we got to do now? I got to show you the gold weighing, don't I? So let's do that. Let's show you the gold being weighed up. There you go. So gold is going to be weighed. Let's see. Remember what your guess was. These are all. I hope this is the right video. I think it is. Because it was funny. The nugget from this one looks almost exactly the same as that big nugget there. It looks almost exactly as the new nugget for February. So the one I have for March was much different. I was like, oh, I can't keep having all these nuggets look the same. So March's nugget will look much differently. If it shows up, it's kind of been lost in the mail too. So all this snow stuff. Yeah, bear prospecting is one of my favorite. It's just, Bear, I need to ask you to move. I need you to move to Ohio. Because I keep getting, every time I buy your Paydirt, I get taxed on it. You got a 5-gallon bucket of it. Yeah, that's, I remember what was it? Ed sent me a bag of Paydirt once. I went through and, and he went through one of his too, and he had a 5-gallon bucket of some Paydirt, and it had some good gold in it. So there we go. Goldwing. So there we go. We're at 3 grams. So whoever, if you guessed 3 grams, nobody guessed 3 grams. I will tell you that not one single person hit this one on the dot. It was exactly 3 grams of gold. A lot of people were really, really close to it. But we're going to start going through, seeing who won. Then we're going to start spinning some wheels of treasure. So 3 grams. That's an easy one to remember this week or this month. We're going to do the $25 tier first. Let me make sure that is the free tier. So we're going to do the $25 tier first. Or actually, maybe we should start the other way just because this. No, $25 tier because they got spins on the wheel. So, all right, $25 tier. Who is the winner? First place goes to, and he's in chat, Mark Sheldon at 3.02. Second place was Brian DeQuinn, who's in chat too. He comes in second place. So, Mark Sheldon, you just won a 1.8 gram bag of Paydirt. Mark Sheldon. And I think Mark said that I could keep it and pan it out and give half to somebody else. So, Brian DeQuinn, you get a spin on the wheel. And then third place goes to Richard Spider Ace Davis, who's going to get a spin on the wheel, and he is not here. He almost never makes it to chat. He likes to work at nights and stuff. So those are the 3 winners for the $25, $79 tier. And congratulations to everyone. But don't worry, even if you didn't guess right and you didn't win, and even if you did win, you still get a consolation prize. Everyone's name will be on this wheel of treasures, or a chance to get on the wheel of treasures. So that was the $25 tier. Now we're going to do the $10 tier. There we go. Oh, nope, we don't want to do that. I know. It's funny, PA, when I saw the Paydirt, when somebody told me, oh, there's a new Paydirt coming out, Lucky Strike Paydirt, I was like, that's not new. Lucky Strike sells Paydirt. I was like, I've reviewed a bag of Paydirt called the Lucky Strike Paydirt before. But then I looked up the website and I was like, oh, I guess that's different. Yeah, Weezen, someone else won it. You didn't win it. I thought you were gonna win it though. I see sometimes I will see people when I'm going through the guesses and I'll be like, oh, they nailed it. Like it'll be like 2.98. And I'm like, oh, they won it. Then, like scroll down a little bit more and someone will get like 2.99. I'm like, okay, well, they won it. Then the next one will be like 3.0. And I'm like, okay. And the person I originally thought was gonna win doesn't even come in the top three, These guesses, a lot of these guesses tend to be really, really close. So all right, now we're doing the $10 tier. First place is going to Package Total. So congratulations to Package Total. He is getting the 0.8 gram bag of Paydirt Package Total. I don't think he's here tonight. And then in second place is 308 Prospecting, who will get a spin on the wheel. Oh, and by the way, if you are a $79 Patreon member, your Paydirt will be going in the mail tomorrow. I will be bagging that all up plus this Paydirt as well, and it's all going to go in the mail tomorrow. So if you're a $79 tier member, your Paydirt will be in the mail. If you don't get it by, what is today? If you don't get it by the end of the week, like by Saturday, let me know, and I will send you tracking numbers. It's too many $79 tier members for me to be sending tracking numbers for. My brain can't function like that. So if it doesn't show up after a couple days, ask me and I'll send it to you. All right, now let's do the $5. And again, congratulations to the winners. And if you didn't win, then again, there is the constellation wheel. So don't worry about that. You still have another chance, even if you haven't done it. Now for the $5 tier, we only had the one spin or the one prize at 0.4 gram bag of Paydirt. And that was right at the end. Jeff Boge came in at 2.99. He was the best guest for the entire month. And he just squeaked in right on the line. I think he guessed the night before. So, Jeff Boge, you'll be getting a bag of Paydirt with 0.4 grams of gold in it. And then lastly, we have the free tier. Let's see who won this one. Oh, that's not it. Yeah, maybe that's it, right? Yeah, 0. All right. There's another one showing up on there. So for the free tier, who won that one? That one is going to Zoltan. So Zoltan came in at 2.99. Another, I didn't even realize he was a 2.99 or 2. So nobody guessed it exactly, but Zoltan got really close, and Jeff Boge at 2.99 as well. So those are the winners. Zoltan, I will need you to send me your email. So you have to email me or send me a message on Patreon or something, since free members, I can't get their addresses. But there we go. Those are all the winners. We're going to take a break for a minute and just talk while I reset everything. And then we're going to do these spins on the Wheel of Treasure. So let me open up chat, get that done. Well, that's only if you put the email in. See, I don't do that. I use a third-party shipping company as well. It's not Pirate Ship, just because it's another one that's like Pirate Ship, but I'm grandfathered in, so I don't have to pay a monthly fee, even though now they charge everybody like $10. And it only works if I put their email address in there, and I don't do that. I can't be bothered with all that, man. I put as little information into shipping as possible so it doesn't take me all day. No. But yeah, I know, because it has it in there. And I tell myself all the time, like, okay, I just need to put everyone's info in there and save it into, because it does have like a spot where I can save everyone's addresses in there and just one-click stuff. But then that just means I have to do extra work, and I've just never done it, so... That was 2 times the amount. Maybe you watched the video twice. Jeff is here, so congratulations, Jeff. That will be going out to you. Like I said, package total's here too. All the winners are here. I wonder, see something about that. All the winners are here. It's sweet. No. Hey, Mikey, it's still coming. It's still coming. I've been having a hard time. I was joking with Liz about it the other day. Even though I am stuck, I've been snowed in. So I would have been snowed in for about a week. I just managed to leave the other day my house. Because I've been snowed in, but it just, when you're snowed in, you can't do anything. You don't want to do anything. So I've had a really hard time. My basement for a couple of days was really bad. You didn't mess up your comment. So it is still coming. I have 2 videos coming on Monday. This Monday I have 2, I don't know if they're both reviews, but I do have 2 videos coming out Monday. So I'm going to try to fit it in before Monday. So maybe Sunday night if I can. And this is for the Dream Mat. I still want to do the review on that. If not, it'll probably come out Wednesday or Thursday. It is going to come out. I have everything set up. I've set up all my sluicing equipment stuff, and I have all the Paydirt here to run through it. So I have everything all set up. I just have to get my mind in the mode to do it, because I have to move a lot of, like, I haven't moved the computer over and the cameras and the microphone and stuff like that. And I just haven't felt like, spending an hour taking apart studio stuff and putting it somewhere else. So I don't pay a monthly fee for pirate shipping. I'll have to look into them. So I forget. I don't know which company I use. I don't even remember what it is. What are they called? Shipping Easy. Shipping Easy is who I use. But, they all do it. You just have to put in that information, though. And I just don't put it in. I just copy and paste what's on Patreon. Like it shows, the address, a copy, paste, send, copy, paste, send. And it just takes that extra step where I would have to copy the email address and put it in there. I just don't ever do that. Maybe I will, though. So y'all will stop bugging me. But yeah, okay. Email, Shipping Easy. I need to just put all my $79 tier members in there permanently. So since they don't usually leave too often. Like, $5 members, I'll get a lot of those will come and go. $10, same. My $79 tier members tend to stick around for a while. My Pirate is free. I have to look at, well, USPS is free too, but I don't use them. There's a couple of them that are free. Stamps is free, I think, or Stamps isn't free anymore, but you can be grandfathered into Stamps, Shipping Easy, and there's another one too, but they all charge now. Oh, that's awesome, package. I'm glad you popped in and saw you won. So, all right, now we're going to shrink down the ugly mug. We're going to start doing some, let me see, let me take all this stuff off. We're done verifying everyone's stuff. So, all right, now, so we're going to shrink down the ugly mug. We're going to do some spins on the wheel treasure. So here we go. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Spin some wheels of treasure stuff. I can close this up on OBS. Is that there? That is there. Okay. All right, so luckily for y'all, you don't have to look at the ugly mug full scale anymore. There we go. I'm going to shrink this down. Wait. We got to do one more thing. Hold on. Get rid of that. Okay. All right, now we can do it. Now I'm all set. All right. Shrink down the ugly mug for a minute to the best website ever, millerprospecting.com. It's just unbelievable how set this site is. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, I know a lot of people don't frequent my website a lot. And if they do, it's just to get to the top 10 recommended sellers and maybe some little things. I added this here, the join support, about 2 months ago, and I haven't ever finished doing it, but I just finished doing it the other day. And this is every single person who has ever supported me on Patreon. This is everybody's name. So if you've ever supported me on Patreon and you're no longer supporting me, it doesn't matter. I will be thanking you forever. As long as I have this website, your name will be on here, and I will be thanking you for being a Patreon member. So thank you all, including, like I was telling HD, my very first Patreon ever was BJ Crow. So thank you very much to BJ Crow for being my very first Patreon member ever. So, and as always, you can come here to get all this stuff. And my top 10, like I said, my top 10 is going to be changing. Sadly, there are a lot of sellers that have really good ROIs, can't stay in stock very much. So I haven't decided if I want to remove them or what I'm going to do with them, move them further down the list, things like that. But This is going to change my top 10. There's one seller in my top 10 that I'm really not happy with, and I want to remove them. So right now I have 9. I'll have to look around and see, who I'm going to put in their place. My last 100 reviews. Oh, I did not put. Oh, that's right. I didn't put gold putts on my last 100 reviews because it wasn't a review. It was a reveal. Because you figured me out, putts. But all right, let's go to the Wheel of Treasures. Where are we going? So first we're going to do, this is the Wheel of Names. This is every single one of my Patreon members. You have everyone's name. Don't tell me your name's not on here. Your name is on here. This is every one of my Patreon members. And I will pull one name out of there and they will win a prize. But before we do that, we have to do our other prizes. These are all the prizes on here. We have a 0.25 gram bag of GNS Paydirt, 0.125 gram bag of Vendetta Paydirt, 1/8 gram of bag from Brad's Bucket, a 0.1 from Gold Baron, a 1 grain gold bar, a 1.49 Moroccan silver nugget, random silver quarter, random silver dime. It's a vintage, we'll say the antique silver Mexican coin, 10% silver, a 1 gram random silver bar round. We have some Paydirt that was donated by Those Left Behind at 0.144, a mini keychain Paydirt that was from Lucky Lodos, a small ore sample from MBMML LLC, a Kazakhstan copper nugget, a random gold back that was donated by Alan Curie, an 1855 franc that has been NGC graded. I think it's like a legit grade. It doesn't actually say a grade, but PCGS presidential dollar. We have a gem jar that has I think 3 cut sapphires in it that I got from Package Total. So we have a 3-carat cut diamond ring, or a 3-carat garnet that has been cut, a 1-carat purple sapphire that's been cut, 1 ounce copper round or sticker pack. We have 5 of those. So some good prizes up there. These are all the prizes that you'll be able to win. So we're going to shuffle these up, and then the first one, we're going to spin the wheel for the $25, $79 tier members, which will be Brian DeQuinn. Then we'll do Spider Ace Davis. Then we'll do 308 prospecting for the $10 member. And then we'll go get everybody's name, spin one, and then see what's left on there. Now, some of these prizes I have multiple of, so if somebody wins, I can put one right back on the wheel. Some are one-time only wins. So if a prize is that something is I have multiple of, we'll just leave it on the wheel. If not, if it's gone, then the next person can't win that prize. So, but all right, let me catch up chat really quick. See, Rocky Mountain Prospector, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Gold, please. Thank you, Mr. Mean Leap. I appreciate that. All right, crossing fingers. All right, we're going to shuffle up all the prizes. All right, so this is for Brian. Here we go. Good luck. Let's see. They got some really good prizes on there. Some of those you get in the Mexican. I heard some prices for those cut sapphires and things. They're pretty high up there. They're probably the best prizes on there. All right, so you get in this silver Mexican coin, Brian. Those are really nice. I don't know if I have another one. Here, let me look. Let me open up my sheet to see if I have another one before I remove it. Let's see. I think that might be my last one. Let's see. Wheel prizes. Yeah, that's the last one. So I'll have to find something to replace that with. So we will remove that one. And we're going to shuffle everything up. And then the next spin will be for Spider Ace Davis. So there we go. We'll shuffle one more time. See what he's going to win. Spider Ace. But it's good. Somebody did not win a copper round for once on the first prize. Is that a gold back? All right. Spider Ace is. Oh, wait. Nope. It's copper round. I jinxed myself by saying that. I'll send him a sticker pack too. All right, now we're going to do 308 prospecting. So I can leave this one in here because I have more of those. So 308 prospecting, good luck. And then we're going to do everybody, every single Patreon member will do their wheel. The Morocco 308. The Moroccan silver. That's a nice piece. I won that from Brad's Bucket. So congratulations on that one. And I don't have another one of those, so we'll have to remove that one. We'll shuffle it up. All right, so now we're going to go to the wheel names. This is everybody's name on here. We're going to pull one name, and they're going to get a spin on the wheel. Yeah, you see stuff all the time. Like you'll be like, oh yeah, that should. And then you get it appraised, and you're like, oh okay. Hold on. All right. All right. So this is everybody's name. We're going to pull one name, then that person will get a spin on the wheel. So good luck to everybody. Everyone's name is on here. Even the winners, losers, everybody. Everyone just gets their name. We'll pull one name. Is it going to be? Oh, it was. I thought for sure it was going to be Cockatoo Birdman Bill. Rich Peterson. I was like, that would be like, the perfect harmony is to just go through that, then have him just to win the consolation prize. So let's say, all right, let's see what Rich Peterson's going to win. He's winning the small rock. Y'all winning all my stuff I can't replace. The ore sample. All right, we're going to do that. Rich Peterson will remove that. All right, so we can close out this wheel. Close out this wheel. And now we're going to do this, a random YouTube comment picker, but we're going to give it a minute. I'll make y'all look at my ugly mug. Oh, wow, what happened there? Why is that there? I don't know. Ugly mug. Full size. Remove prizeless, please. Yeah. I can't see. That's the one problem with OBS is you cannot see chat while you're doing other stuff. So, I mean, I guess I could. I'll have to figure it out. I need to figure that out. Here, that's something I need to do is figure out a way to have chat open permanently. But there you go. Yeah, you couldn't see my ugly face. So, but here we go. So we're still going to do the hidden comment. Make sure it's in the pinned comment. And David Stocks just posted it as well. Make sure you go and leave a comment. And as always, YouTube and its affiliates have nothing to do with this giveaway. This is 100% by me, just to give back to all the people who look at my ugly mug during a live show for extended periods of time. So we're going to do that. Okay, let's shrink down that. I don't know how the GAW opened up. I don't know how that folder and that even showed up. That was weird. So glitch in the OBS system. So, but let me go get the link while we're doing that. Make sure everyone's comments are going through. Copy, comments. Make sure I'll publish. Yep, I don't see any held. Apply. None are being held. So there we go. Now, as always, you must be here when I pull your name for this one, for the live chat. Once I pull your name, you'll have a few minutes to say, I'm here. And then once you state you're here, then we'll go pull your prize. If you don't show up and you don't say hi or I'm here, unfortunately, you just lose your prize and you don't get it next week or at some other future time. That's just the way it is. So Hopefully you'll be here. I'll give it a few minutes for everyone to put their stuff in. I've been learning OBS. Yeah, well, that was my original idea. When I originally built this studio, I had it set up so I was going to, and I had the thing here up until recently, I pulled it down, and I was going to use a second monitor just for chat. But my problem is the laptop I use only has so many USB ports. And I'm still using every single USB port. And then I have a USB hub that I'm also using to splice out to a whole bunch of other ones. But each one of these USB ports can only handle so much. So like if the USB port can only have 2 USBs in it for this one, otherwise it fries everything. So I couldn't hook up the monitor. So then I was like, well, okay, I'll just use a tablet to do it. And I probably should just do that and put my tablet on there. So, but I'll have to do that. I'm probably have to move because I have the stuff. It's still sitting over there in the corner. I need to just rehook up and put my tablet so I can see it and chat. I'm not here. Oh, okay. But here, I'm gonna write a note for that too, because I do need to do some work in my studio soon. So here, let me write a note. Because when I'm panning, I have a chat monitor. So like when I'm panning, I can see chat, but I can't see my laptop for the video. So we'll have to do that. I'll have to put an extension pole in here and do that. Yeah, most high-end gamers use 2 PCs, but I'm not a high-end gamer. I'm a small-time gold panner. So, like if you could see my OBS right now, it is flashing on and off because it's getting overheated because I have too many screens open right now. I have the wheel prizes open. It's just making it go crazy. No, my laptop does not have an HDMI port. So it has 3 USBs. Oh, no, this one does have an HDMI port, but this one is broken. This one's HDMI port is broken. When I bought it, I did not know that. So, because I bought it used. So it's, I'm low budget man studio. And no, I do not use a Stream Deck. So I think I've had a Stream Deck on my Amazon cart for like 2 years now. So it's the reason why like I don't like do a lot of stuff with my OBS. Like I don't just click a button and go from here to panning or anything like that. I have to shrink everything down because I just, it's $100. And in my mind, I'm always like, eventually this show will end. And when this show ends, what am I going to do with the Stream Deck? Yeah. And it's also one of those things. So like this laptop is 99% of its use is just for shooting videos. It's not for live shows or anything else. I only do a live show 1 day a week. And then other days, probably 2 days a week, I'm using it to either preview stuff or edit stuff or something else like that for the videos. So I just use OBS so infrequently compared to everything else I use it for. Like I bought this, it's mainly just to handle Photoshop and my editing software and everything else. And it does great with that. It's just OBS. I just, I'll think about it like when we're doing these live shows. I'm like, man, I just need to do that. I need to change my scenes and add in scenes so I can swap stuff easier and have transitions and all that. But then I close it at the end of the show and I go upstairs and do stuff and I come back down 2 days later and I'll open it up again, but it's to do editing. It's to do some Photoshop stuff or it's to start shooting a video. So not sure. Yeah. I mean, I probably would never use the Stream Deck. I just, like I said, I saw some of the things I could do, and I can do most of the transitions that I would do in OBS by click of a button. I'm just haven't ever set them up just because, like I said, I just don't use this computer enough just for OBS. Just because it's once a week, I come down here at like 5:30, set it up. 30 minutes later, I'm live, and that's it. So, if I did live shows, like I know like B&B Prospecting, he does a live show like every day. There's always, you always get the people that are new to the community, they'll start doing live shows like every day of the week. It's like, I'm going to do a live show every day. Like if I was doing a live show every day, I would probably set it up better and I have it. Or if I change, which by the way, who does a live show on Fridays at 6 p.m. Central? Because I am currently thinking I might move my live shows from Tuesdays to Fridays. Because my current situation with my kids and stuff, originally I moved it from Saturdays to Tuesdays because that was my one day I never had my kids. Well, that is no longer true. Now Fridays is a better day for me to have a live show, but I don't know if somebody else has a live show on Fridays at 6. So gold's back to 5,040. Yeah. I figure, like I was telling somebody today, I think it's going to stick right around the 5,000 mark. Like I said, I think it was just a pump and dump thing, essentially manipulation, just because it went up too high and they wanted to make some money or something. Yeah. Yeah, Lucky Strike. I know how to do all the transitions and stuff. I've just never, you just have to set it up. And I just haven't ever, like if you saw my OBS, it is a hot mess of old scenes and stuff like that. I mean, I just went through it like 2 weeks ago and deleted because at the time I used to have like 30 different scenes on here just for what you see here, which is 3 scenes. I have I have a panning cam, I have an overhead cam here, and then I have my face cam, and then I have like the, scenes for Google, that's it. Those are pretty much the only scenes I use, but I had like 30 or 40. I had all kinds of weird ones. And do you have a Discord or Facebook? No, I do not use Discord. I don't use Facebook. I used to use Facebook, and I had a Miller Prospecting Facebook page for a while, and it's still there. I just don't use it. I'm not huge on social media. I just, too much negativity on social media. It's not worth the time. So, and then Discord, I just don't have the time for Discord. Friday's a bad choice. Why is Friday a bad choice, Michael? And Gold Rush is on Fridays. But what time does Gold Rush come on? Because so the thing is, it doesn't have to be at 6 o'clock. It could be at any time on Friday. Because see, originally when I swapped to Tuesdays, I swapped it because my kids, I always had my kids on every day, but Tuesday was random. It was just Tuesdays I didn't have them. And then I swapped to 6 o'clock from 7 just because of the calling them. But now that that's out too. Friday at 9, that's late. Thank you, Richard. Thank you very much. That's awesome, Hogan. They found gold yet. So I'll have to look. So let me write some notes to myself. So Gold Rush is on Fridays, but that's not really what I was worried about too much. I meant more streamers. Like I don't want to, like I felt bad when I moved to Tuesdays. I didn't think anyone was really doing any live shows on Tuesday, but unfortunately Flash was doing his live show. And I always feel bad, his does start, after mine or a little before mine, one of the two, I can't remember, that I'm kind of like in the middle of his show. And it still bugs me. I don't like taking up somebody else that's been around for a while space. So. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind, like, I watch TikTok occasionally, because I mostly watch, like, cooking recipes. I like cooking stuff on TikTok and Instagram. But, like, Facebook, no. Facebook isn't, like, they don't recommend, because I don't watch, I guess they're reels or something on Facebook. I don't watch those. So, Facebook, it's just your friends and people you know. And since most of the people that friend me on Facebook are people that are just in the gold community, and a lot of them are just people they've never been on my show. They've never watched my videos. But they might know somebody else that's in my show that's a prospector that they want to be able to, build their community with. So, 6 is a good time. I watch repeats of BTP on Fridays. I can't watch my dog. He's a good dude, though. I like him, though. He's a good dude. Yeah, I am Zaxxon. I think he's saying somebody different because BTP, I'm thinking Big Texas Prospecting. I was like, he can't be watching Big Texas Prospecting still. I day trade, but only for 2 hours. So I'm usually on the road from 5:38 every Friday. Well, okay. Well, maybe we won't switch. I will run a poll on Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, I'll run a poll and we'll see. Win or lose, I stop at 2 hours. Yeah, it's the best way to do it. So I have to do a poll from Tuesday or Friday. Me too. Yeah, that's how I was like, what? Because at first I could not think of anybody. I was like, what is BTP? Then it immediately hit me. I was like, oh, that's Big Texas Prospect. And I was like, well, no, it can't be him because I know he's not on Fridays. If he was on Friday, somebody would have messaged me and like, dude, look who's back. Look who's back. Alaskan Assassin, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. All right, I'm almost out of coffee. That means the show's almost over. I'm watching Ulster to see. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm watching either day. Yeah, I will post it on Patreon. Like I said, I don't like change. I don't like changing my show. I like it being on Tuesdays, especially since my things come out Monday. It's just, it came up in a conversation today where I was like, well, maybe I can switch it now, but I can't do it on Saturdays and I can't do it on Sundays. And the only other logical day would have been Friday for me if I switch it. So I'll see. Everyone complained when I moved it from Saturday to Tuesday, and I still have the same number of people that watch the show because a couple of people that couldn't watch it on Saturdays before now can watch it on Tuesday. So, a lot of people didn't like I moved it from 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So, but I gained some from the people that in the UK and stuff that can stay up a little bit later and watch it when it's on 6. So, but all right, let's shrink down. Oh, wait, I got to get the code. Let me get the magical code. Then we're going to do the chat giveaway. Now, again, if I pull your name, you must post something in the live chat within a few minutes, then we'll pull your prize. So let's see. All right, shrink down the ugly mug again without putting the prize thing up there. There we go. Shrink down the ugly mug. And again, best website on the interwebs, Miller Prospecting. All right, here we go. YouTube random comments. Good luck again to everybody. Let's fetch. Anything goes but replies. There we go. 58 comments. Let's pick a winner. Good luck to everyone. Again, you must post something in the live chat if I pull your name. And there we go. Tomcat Josh. Congratulations, Tomcat. Now, I have not seen you post tonight, Tomcat. Are you just working? Good luck to everyone. So congratulations, Tomcat. We'll go to the wheel of prizes next as soon as Tomcat says he's here. Oh, let's get rid of this ad. So where is Tomcat? I just got a fresh cup of coffee. Yeah, I can only do one. See, this is my cup. 16 ounces. That's the most I can do is one 16-ounce cup of coffee a day. And this one I made way too sweet. I got new sweetener in, and boy, this stuff is just, whoa, way too sweet. It's good, but it's making me think I'm drinking dessert. Zoltan, how's it going? Zoltan, make sure you email me, Zoltan, so I can send you your prize because you did win earlier. Email me so I can send you your gold-plated dime. I saw him earlier. Oh, no. Winston, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. He's got a minute, so. Tomcat Josh, where are you at? Kim Smith. How's it going? Thank you for joining the show. I need to send you a bigger copy. Well, just some shows are short. Like this, the days I have my son over tend to be shorter because I don't want him starving while I'm down here drinking a giant mug of coffee and stuff like that. And my Patreon shows tend to be slower. But like next week will be a longer show. We're going through a big thing of Paydirt next week. A longer show. I've got to be more careful with next week Paydirt because it was something somebody sent me that I'm sending them the gold to, so I can't miss any. I drink my coffee black like a real man. So I used to drink my coffee black, but I also have a addiction to sugar. Like I like sweet. So the reason I get fat is because I tend to eat a lot of junk food and a lot of candy and stuff like that, and desserts and stuff like that. So I started, if I drink coffee at night, I add sweetener to it to make it sweet, so then I won't eat chocolates later. So I like black coffee. I prefer black coffee. Well, actually, I usually put a little bit of milk in it, so just because I'm French, and you gotta have the cafe au lait. So I usually will put a little milk in it just to cool it off a little bit. But if it's later at night, I have to add something sweet, because then I won't have dessert later. Tomcat, where are you at, Tomcat? Why? No. I know. Is he still here? Let me see. Is he even clickable? No, I think he left. I don't even see him. Yeah. Well, he's not currently in chat, so. But all right. Well, I'm gonna make y'all look at my ugly mug until he shows up. So we'll give it a few minutes. He's got 5 or 6 minutes. We'll give him a few minutes if he shows up. Then we'll shrink down the ugly mug and get back to it. And I will just tell everybody, where is chat? Why can I not find chat box? Okay. Chat has decided to close. All right. Let's reopen chat. There we go. What are you weighing in at? Too much. Last time I weighed myself, which was today, 228. I'm 228. So, and I should be right around, for myself, 200 pounds. So I'm 28 pounds overweight because it's all in where you can't see it. I hide it all cleverly. I know. He's probably hopping around. I can't draw again. That's one of my rules. We do not draw again. So, because otherwise he'll show up. That we've had that happen before, where when I've declared somebody a winner, and then I said, oh, well, they're not here. Let's pull another name. And we pulled another name. They then showed up and said, okay, well, now I'm here. Around 260. Yeah. Tomcat. I mean, he still has a few minutes. So next Monday, I have 2 videos coming out. 2 videos coming out. They're both going to be shorter videos. One is going to be, well, they might not both be short. One is a Paydirt review. I am going to be doing a review on a Paydirt. It is a short review, though, so I don't think it'll be too long. It's probably going to be a 10-minute video. And then I'm going to be doing another video where it is kind of a review, but it's hard to explain. I have 2 reviews coming out. They're both from the exact same seller. Those will be out next Monday. I'm still working on the Dream Mat, what's it called? The double decker, whatever it is, the switchback. The switchback video, I have everything set and ready to go. I just have to get my head in the game and do it. So I will try to do that this week, and then I will put it out either Sunday or Wednesday, that video. So I want to get that one out here. And then figure out what I'm going to do with that sluice, because I don't want that sluice. I have other sluices I have to review and stuff, though. I was 276 down to 219. Well, good for you. Good for you, brother. You looked good in the video. Yeah. And what is it, Mike's, when you drove down there? So do you use anything other than a Panda? No. I only pan. Even though I have sluices, I refuse to review Krampus. Even though I have some sluices, I have like the little, what is it? The Boss sluice or whatever it is, the smaller one. I do have those. I just never set them up. I never use them. I pan everything. So I've always only panned stuff. I've had equipment. I've had, gold cubes. I've had, Miller tables, blue bowls, all of them. It's just, to me, they're just not fun. And I do this for fun. I pan for fun. I'm not panning to make money. If I was on a stream and I was getting 5-gallon buckets of dirt that had gold in it, like, Jason from Flower Gold Wizards, I would use a sluice. I would, because then you're trying to get money out of it so you can go back out in the field and get another 5-gallon bucket. And if you're sitting there trying to pan a 5-gallon bucket, one little, ounce at a time, you're just costing yourself money. But since this to me is a hobby and it's fun, I love panning Paydirt, that I bring it in stuff like that. It's not to make money or to find the gold so I could go back in the field. I only use it, so I just got a new, which is funny because I got rid of my last buddy sluice, but I got a new one in because I got it for a really good price when I was buying the switchback, because I had a coupon and then they were doing a discount and I had something else and I was trying to figure out how to spend the money because I needed to spend like $50 to get all the discounts to add up. And I figured once I add that in there, it only cost me $50. So I got another one. So, all right, Zoltan, make sure you email me again, Dylan at Miller Prospecting, so I can send you out your thing while we still wait for Tomcat Josh. But yeah, so Monday, we're going to be doing 2 reviews Monday. I still have the switchback video coming out either Sunday or Wednesday. And then next Tuesday, we're going to be panning out something secret. Somebody sent me a big thing of Paydirt. We're going to be panning out. I'm going to send them the gold, but it's something that's been on my bucket list for a while to pan out. They offered to send it to me. They send it to me. Thank you very much, Zoltan. So we'll be panning out that next Tuesday. So that should be a longer show. It is a very, very big bag of Paydirt with a lot of gold in it. So, oh, hey, Tomcat. All right. Tomcat is here. Yes, you were told to come back because you won. No, usually if I know somebody has somebody else's number, I'll tell them text them or something, but I didn't know. But yes, you won. We pulled your name for being here, even though you weren't here. But technically, I guess at some point you were here. So, what is this? Oh. All right, let's shrink down my ugly mug. And then we're going to pull your prize and see what you win, brother. If I can get everything. So here we go. We'll shrink down, we'll go through the prizes. We're just going to skip over the prizes pretty quick because you weren't here. The only Paydirts on here is a 0.2 gram bear prospecting Paydirt, Miller Prospecting mini pan, keychain, copper thing, grain gold bar. This one somebody won tonight, so we don't have this anymore. We also don't have the Mexican silver coin anymore. So there we go. Silver quarter, silver dimes, a silver bar. Paydirt is this guy giving away too. Wow, so many things knocked off the list. I'm going to have to be shopping on eBay this weekend. So, all right, let's shuffle this up. Let's spin it. There we go. So Tomcat Josh, this is for all the marbles. There you go. You're getting yourself an NGC 1855 French franc. So Tomcat Josh, I will send that out to you, NGC franc. And I don't have more of those either. Clearing me out today. This is the time of the wheel where I want everyone to copper. Be shopping for some prizes. Deep North, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. So there you go. You can go back to hibernating, Tomcat, whatever you're doing. I appreciate you being here, brother, and I'll have your prize out. Email me. Email me, Zoltan, Tomcat Josh. Email me with your addresses, and I'll send those prizes right out. That's not a copper round. I know. Today, we only had one copper round today. That was pretty good. What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spins. 5 spins. We only got one copper round. I told you I was going to change the wheel up. It just takes me a while because you don't know what's going to hit, how often it's going to hit. And I have a price point where every prize has to average out to a certain amount. I wanted to make sure I didn't every week I wasn't giving away 5, bags of Paydirt, because all these little sample bags, even those quarter-gram bags of Paydirt, they cost $35-$40 each. I couldn't have it where every single time I was giving away $200 worth of prizes. Because these, especially these live shows and the live shows prizes, those are, they can add up, and the live shows, usually today was an exception, aren't really money makers. There's no ads really on the show or anything else like that. So, okay, I'll do that. I'll have to remember. Yeah. So yeah, and if you're a Patreon member, your $79 tier member Paydirts are going out tonight. They'll be going in the mailbox tomorrow and tonight. So I don't mind the copper rounds. Yeah, I don't mind the copper rounds, but it just bugs me a couple times, where one night on a Tuesday show, I gave away 6 prizes and 5 of them were, copper rounds. The whole reason I designed the wheel was so we get a whole bunch of random, one person might get a copper, one person might get gold, one person might get silver, one might get something from somebody else. So, but, this week we just gave away a whole bunch. I'll go find some new prizes. I know I have some backup prizes sitting on a shelf somewhere. I'll have to do it. So I'll have to find those, put them in the wheel, stuff like that. So, it's harder to do. I will say it is harder to do, prizes for the live show wheel, because for Patreon, Patreon members pay into the wheel. So, the Patreon members are spending money every single month, and to give it back, I use some of that money to put bigger prizes on the wheel that they'll eventually win. But that's awesome. That's why I said, this show does make some money. It does make a little bit. And, people are putting up with me. If, y'all weren't here interacting with chat, if it was just me talking to myself and nobody else was watching, I wouldn't be here. So, I like people to be here. I appreciate everyone that comes here. And since I've been doing live shows, I've always given stuff away. Originally it was just gold-plated dimes, but I think by now almost everybody has a gold-plated dime for Miller Prospecting. So, I had to think of other things. I do have some other prizes in the future that I plan on doing with Miller Prospecting, like swag, but I've just been so, behind on getting stuff done. But those will eventually be on the wheel too. So people that already have a gold-plated dime can get some other good stuff. So. The only Paydirt I get nowadays is where I win here. Yeah. That's it, Jackson. I know. That's why I give everyone a break and I shrink down the ugly mug, because I'm like, man, if I shrink it down, maybe they'll stick around longer. No. But I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, I will have a new video coming out, 2 new videos coming out Monday. So I do have 2 new videos coming out. I'm going to say they're both reviews. You'll have to see during the video if they're actually reviews. But I got 2 new reviews from the same seller coming out. They're going to be back to back. I'll post them. I might post them 30 minutes apart just to give you a break from listening to me. So looking at my ugly mug, they both should be shorter videos. I'm not sure on the format. Like I said, they're semi-reviews. And I still have the switchback. I'm going to try to get out as soon as I can. I'm going to try either for Sunday or Wednesday. I don't want to put it out Tuesday because we'll be doing the live show. We'll have to see. I'll try and stick it in there anytime I can. Never got my gold Tom. Oh my gosh, Tomcat. All right. I will add that in there, Tomcat. Let me see. I will add that into your package this week. Sadly, when I send out those things, I can't send them tracking just because, shipping is just crazy. So I just send them out in regular mail, and, postman feels something. I sent something the other day, and the postman kept trying to bend the letter, and she was just like, oh, is this a credit card? And I was like, why are you asking if it's a credit card? Why would you say that? I was like, why are you feeling my mail to see if it's a credit card? And it was a gold-plated dime thing. It was wherever that one is. Where is it? It was just this. It was one of these in there. And I'm like, is she going to open my mail now to see if it's a gift card so she could steal my gift card? But all right, everybody, I'm out of here. I hope everyone has a great time. Hopefully everyone finds some good gold. Gold again, I guess, is above 5,000 again. So go out there, find some good gold. If you're not out in the wild panning it, make sure you join Miller Prospecting's Patreon, patreon.com/Miller Prospecting. Join. And then I do a daily ROI chart Monday through Friday, tell you who the best Paydirts are, what the best ROIs are, so you can get those 100% ROIs every day of the week pretty much. So support me. I support y'all, help y'all find the best Paydirts and get everything done. But I'm out of here, and I will see you all next Tuesday. I will have some videos before then, but I will see you all on the live show next Tuesday. Wait, what is that, David? Wait, what? I'm trying to see what Midwest was asking. All right. I can't catch up with chat. I'm out of here. Thanks, everybody. Y'all have a great time. See you all again.